Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. In her most recent tweet, Dominik Mysterio has responded to the huge offensive that Liv Morgan has directed at Rhea Ripley. He was referred to as the loser by Liv Morgan. A nasty Dom ended up retweeting the previous tweet. Picture, Dominik does not feel a connection to the Never Again a Nightmare. This was Rhea Ripley's loss. At SummerSlam, Dom will be living with Morgan. By the year 2024, Dominik had deceived her and caused her. Win the Women's World Championship for her is Ripley. Wants nothing more than to wreak revenge at this point. When she had lost her chance to Liv Morgan on the duel. At the SummerSlam 2024 event, Rhea Ripley was unable to regain control of her feelings and was apprehended, weeping. Behind the scenes, Ripley was comforted by Mr. Damian Priest. During a really emotional moment that was caught on camera via the cameras of WWE after that, Liv divulged the photograph posted on her Twitter handle and a phone call. Mommy, the big loser, to Dominik, known as Mysterio, seemed to take pleasure in the insult, and both retweeted it, as can be seen in the following example. Liv and Dominik Mysterio became great friends. The absence of Morgan while Rhea Ripley was away. The Liv. More than a year ago, Morgan had made a commitment that she was able to steal everything from her mother and her journey of vengeance, which she carried out alone, planned throughout the course of a number of months from now. As a result, Liv was ultimately successful in putting Ripley is not being used in order for her to would not be able to hinder her progress in any way. Quest to win Dominik's affection, she ultimately emerged victorious. For Rhea to win the women's world title, she required to. In the coming weeks, you will be leaving WWE Raw. Months. Through whatever means, Lee was able to persuade that she had a deep and abiding love for Dominik and cared for him more than his mother could ever hope to do. Dominik was successful in the end thanks to her idea. Revealed Rhea Ripley's true identity during SummerSlam, a game-changing rematch between the two in 2024. Both Ripley and Liv Morgan are destined to take place. It will continue to exist at some point in the not-too-distant future. If the Eradicator is successful in achieving its goal, obtain a victory the next time she is confronted with. In the squared circle, Liv stands. To Dominik, Mysterio was alone himself in his locker room. The faint rumble of the WWE crowd in the distance, sound that reverberated through the walls that he had just. His match was a battle that he battled with much effort. Because of this, his muscles were in pain, and despite the fact that it wasn't his head racing tonight, a triumph or a defeat in the ring, during which, because it was the words that filled his thoughts, that had caused him to be shook to his core by Liv Morgan. Dominik's phone was constantly buzzing, and it was core. As a result of notifications, social media explodes. Forum for Wrestling Online fire and written text. Comments from close friends and family members a whole. I asked the identical inquiry that I had asked earlier. Hear what Liv said. He was completely aware of it. The individual to whom they were referring, Liv Morgan, the superstar who was both fiery and brave, and who have never given in to a task, and never given up. Rhea Ripley was referred to as the loser during the backstage interview. Phrases were repeated not merely as a casual thought in Dominik's head, offensive, but as a declaration that struck a chord, more profound than he had ever anticipated. The Rhea Ripley. As far as Dominik was concerned, she was more than just another wrestler. She was his guide, his partner in the Judgment Day, and someone he looked up to. Incredibly, during that time, she had taken him under her wing. It was the doubts of others that helped him uncover a foothold in a company that has the potential to cruel, and most importantly, treated him as if he were. Rhea's family had the audacity to refer to her as a loser. This was more than just idle chatter. It was the assault on a person. The deer was held by Dominik. There was a slight opening in the door of his locker room. Finn Balor entered his typical place of residence. The smirk that you had replaced with a troubled frown. "All right, young man," leaning against the wall, Finn questioned. Wall, with his arms crossed over his chest. In spite of the emotion on his face, Dominik nodded. His expression conveyed a very different message. While he was considering what Liv had said, he admitted his tone was tinted with exasperation. On the far side, pushing against the wall, as well as making his way over to sit next to Dominik at the bench, where she is attempting to sneak beneath it. Finn remarked that you have Rhea's skin as well as your own. Aware of the situation, mind games that are psychological, war, but you can't let it to affect you in any way. Dominik is aware that he responded through his taunt. However, it is not simply the words that are not convincing. It has always been such a challenge to Liv. The fact that she is so resilient to call Rhea a loser seems to be a form of betrayal. There was a nod from Finn. The comprehension of the more profound link. There is a lot of difficulty between Dominik and Rhea, especially when you have feelings for another person. Nevertheless, you must keep in mind that it is all about the business that we are in. Perception and lives that are attempting to change the storyline. Dominik took a D. Dominik did not allow her to. A long, slow breath. The words of Finn are making sense. However, the rage that was already present within him continued to simmer. The scornful smile on Liv's face was visible to him. His mind, in the manner in which she confidently deemed Rhea to be a loss in the eyes of the WWE Universe. It was a low-cost attempt, but it was one that could, if left unattended, cause significant harm. Unopposed to challenge, she is not going to be allowed to evade punishment or, as Dominik stated, his speech took on an air of resolute anticipation. Rhea has gone above and above for me and for all of us. To allow someone like Liv to treat her with disrespect. Finn smiled, the smirk that had returned to his face. This is the spirit D. But don't forget to recall, this is not simply about punching each other in the face. You have to be astute in the way that you move. Take care of its lives for the sake of a game. And if you have to put in the effort if you want to come out on top. Superior in his head, Dominik nodded once more. Already in competition with concepts that he was unable to let go of Liv's remarks. However, he was unable to afford to answer the question. Allow his feelings to cause him to fall into a trap. Along the same lines as Rhea, he needed to be strategic. Taught him when he appeared on WWE Raw the following week. He was able to find his mic time, which he had asked as an opportunity by the producers. And as his music became more popular, the audience exploded in a variety of cheers and applause. A bottle of alcohol, he made his way to the ring. A look of unwavering resolve on his face as he able to respond to the WWE organization. The previous week, Dominik started pacing the universe. Throughout the ring, Liv Morgan made the decision to verbally abuse Rhea Ripley by referring to her as a lady. Who is the most successful in this industry, who has won championships and defeated the most formidable opponents. To the crowd, she referred to her as a loser. In response, a variety of reactions were exhibited. A few people clearly groaning with Liv, while others, now that I understand it, I am supporting the Judgment Day. Despite this, Dominik continued to halt and face a camera with a hard drive.